What about expense? I'm curious about expense because there is that argument that healthy foods, the kale and the organic produce, are cost prohibitive compared to their non-organic versions. Do you agree with that? And how do you get around it?
Okay, so this is kind of funny because I teach a lot of cooking classes and I hear this regularly.
Okay.
So some of the things that I tell people are, and this is an ugly visual, but if you took 2 apples off of a tree and both were grown naturally, no pesticides, but you sprayed one with Raid, and I don't care if you wash that thing 500 times, you're not going to eat it. But that's what's happening when people go into a grocery store and they're buying things conventional. So they're looking at it and they're saying, okay, wow, this organic kale is $1 more than the conventional. Conventional means raised with pesticides.
Right.
So they're thinking this costs too much for me. But is $2.99 compared to $1.99? Yes, it's $1 more, but think about the Raid.
Yes.
And think about $2.99. Is that really a lot of money, considering that you could go down the aisle and get a box of cereal for $6.99?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I completely do.
Really, it's if you're comparing it because they're side by side, and you're thinking it's more money. So I hear that a lot. Oh, organic costs too much, and I tell people also, is it worth? It's better to eat organic, but if you can't find something organic or it looks really old, because food has energy.
Yes.
So if it's sitting there and it's all wilty, probably better off to get something that looks fresh.
Right.
And you're still better off eating fruits and vegetables than not having them.
One thing that I wonder about too, because as you know, I'm a physician, I often think we have to think at all of the costs and the benefits, because what I often wonder what the costs are in health between eating. When you eat your organic produce or the produce that's not treated with pesticides and the Raid that you're talking about, well, there is long-term health consequences from that, and we're going to pay for that, right?
Exactly.
As compared to the others. So I, for me, after looking into it and reading the articles, I'm weighing on the other side that the conventional sometimes I think can probably be a little more expensive.
Absolutely. If you look at it as a cumulative effect, you're going to pay more money in the end when you're paying for your physician bills.
Yes.
And a lot of people are acquiring different conditions that didn't really, not that they didn't exist, but they weren't so mainstream. Why now does everybody have, not everybody, that's a big word, but a lot of people have type 2 diabetes, the obesity, as I mentioned, because the food is so heavily processed, and then the GMOs, and we don't know what all of this is doing to our bodies. So as organic, as fresh as you can. I always say if it grew out of the ground and the sun nourished it, it has a lot of energy. We are eating for energy.
Right.
You wanna think that way. And as far as snacking, I am really a big believer in Ayurvedic medicine is an ancient study where they don't really snack. They believe that if you eat 3 meals a day, you don't really need to have all these snacks. So if you need it, you do it.
Right.
But I think you just have to be really mindful of it.